then have Eduardo talk, and we're going to have, in between Eduardo talking, we're going to break it up into about 15-minute segments. So we will also have time for question and answers. If you want to utilize the Q&A feature, which should be on the bottom of your screen, submit the question just to me, and then I will make sure that we are able to answer those questions as time allows. And then we will close with prayer. Several folks I know are going to be interested in this of how to donate to Esperanza. At the very top of the chat, I have put a link there. So if you would like to make a donation to Esperanza, please utilize that link. Anything helps with their efforts. I am recording this webinar, so we will be making that available. It takes us a little time for the editing and to get it up on YouTube and all of that. So just be patient with us. But as soon as that's done, I will be emailing everyone the link. So I know folks will have that question. So just to do kind of some brief introductions, we are joined today by our speaker, Eduardo Zavala Reyes. Eduardo has worked as the volunteer coordinator for Esperanza International since 1999. So thank you so much, Eduardo, for agreeing to be among friends today and share your story on the border wall. We are also joined by Amanda Lasik, who serves as the current president of the board for Esperanza. She's been in that role for the past year and has been affiliated with Esperanza since 2012. And as always, our steadfast pastor is joining us as well today, Father Gary Zender. So Father Gary, go ahead and take it.
Thank you very much, Katie. And again, welcome to everyone. Very happy that you're with us today. So we'll begin in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving God, as we gather today, this second Sunday of Lent, we heard the wonderful story of Jesus climbing the mountain with his apostles, Peter, James, and John. He was transfigured before them. He did this to show the great glory that can come from struggle and suffering. He'd already taught them about the cross. They couldn't believe that he had to die. They were able to experience a great gift of light and love. We know, especially those of us who've been able to participate in Esperanza, that we have an experience of participating in the struggle of the people in Tijuana. And we also have experienced the great light of their love, of their faith, which has strengthened us in our faith. Help us to always be dedicated to serving you, and especially to serving those who are most in need. And we pray this in the name of Jesus the Lord. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, Eduardo, we welcome you. Bienvenido. Gracias por su...
Gracias, Padre. Gracias, Katie. Y gracias, Amanda, por estar aquí con nosotros. Buenas tardes a todos mis amigos. Good afternoon to everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Eduardo Zavala Reyes, and I have 22 years working for this beautiful organization. Obviously, it's part of my life. I'm from Tijuana, from this city. My team is Los Cholos, and I represent part of this community Mexicana in this side, in my border. It's a pleasure to be with you guys by this way. It's not normal for me. I just tell Katie and the rest I was a little bit nervous, but I don't have to be nervous for anything. But I was nervous. I want to start with saying, thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about what is happening in my border in Tijuana. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about what are we doing in our side. Esperanza is everything for me, and it's everything for many families we help. But Esperanza does not exist if we don't have a lot of beautiful people come from your side to give you a little push to my side. Talking to this border and talking about this city is complicated to understand the whole process. Tijuana is a city, is growing and growing every day so fast. Why Tijuana? Why people came from all over to Tijuana? One of the reasons is because everyone want to come and go to the other side. Mean the other side mean for us, USA, los Estados Unidos, to go find the American dream. And why? And why people leave his own town? Why people from the South? Why the people from Central America live in his own town? When they live his whole life in those cities, in those countries, why they has to travel all the way to this border to trying to go to US? Tijuana is very important for many people. Tijuana, we are very famous around the world. The bad side, many people know Tijuana for a lot of bad things, like in Tijuana, kill people, drug, blah 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 blah. But it's a few people like you guys, you know Tijuana through Esperanza, and you know Tijuana is a beautiful people down here too, and it's a people we want to change the life, and we want to show the world who we are. In some point, a lot of people they see Tijuana like it's a terrible city. Don't go there. And I can tell you from my own and the people being in my city, it's not that way. We are working so hard in those communities they need to trying to change a little bit the life. We're not going to change the whole thing because it's complicated. Our system we have, our corrupt government we have, they don't help too much to go around and give you those need the family need. That's when Esperanza go through those volunteers came from US. We work together like a brothers. We go lifted up a house from the beginning to the end. In my time, in my 22 years, we have more than 1,100 and something houses we made for this city. All those families, they changed the life. We changed the life. They changed the life because they chose to be in this program. And those families, they chose to stay in Tijuana and they chose to stay in Mexico. A lot of people take the decision to jump the fence and go to the United States. The one is okay for me, but it's complicated because a lot of people and the way they go into the United States, they can pass away different way by accident, by robbing, people killed, by shooting from the border agentes. Many ways they pass away, and that's very complicated to understand. Why are people trying to find a different life that has to die? It's a lot of kids, a lot of women pregnant, many situations, families they trying to get to the United States. And that's very complicated to understand and trying to tell them, don't go. I was talking the other day with, I don't remember with who, about how many people, or if we don't have no more immigration trying to go to the United States. People thinking because it's pandemia uh, and a hard situation with the past president you have in US, Donald Trump, make everything more complicated. But that not mean people is not trying to go to the United States. A lot of immigration is still going to. A lot of people trying coming through our country and trying to go to the United States, especially from Central America. And maybe a lot of people, you guys know Central America is, they have a lot of problems, economically speaking. And they have a lot of problems with gangs, the mafias, and they make it run for his own countries. And they make it run for his own cities. And what we're going to do? We're not going to accept them because we are different. No, these are brothers and sisters. And they're running away from his own town because they need to run away. And that's the only option they have. A lot of Mexicanos too, from those little towns in the south, they start moving to the borders to trying to look for a better life for his own kids. Let me ask you guys, You don't do the same thing if your country was in a hard situation, economic speaking, mafias, drugs, no opportunity to go to the school for your kids. Tell me, you don't do the same thing. Of course, we do the same thing. We run away to find a better life for our kids. We want the same life for everyone. We want a better life. We want to our kids going to the school. We want to they progress, get a better life because the more education our kids have, is the more they can help our own countries and our own system. Those people they run away from my own country, Mexicanos, and they live in the U.S. and they made it and they have a better life. That's beautiful too. But I'm gonna keep on asking, guys. Don't forget Mexico. Don't forget our people in our side. Don't forget those families they decide to stay in our side because we are suffering. Economically speaking, the situation is very tough. Right now with the pandemic is more tough because part of Mexico, Tijuana, and all this part of the Mexico, we survive by tourist people. We survive if you come and go shopping, restaurant, and whatever you come and do here. That's the way people we are making money. Actually, the business, because we are border, the maquiladoras, some of those factories, they close. They close because uh, they had to send their people to their house, no work. And that's hard situation. Right now, I see more vendors all over in my city sell food, taco, burritos, tortas, and whatever they can sell because they are desperate. No jobs, no economic speaking. And that's tough. We're not going to make it if we if we will receive a little push. Excuse me.
So actually, Eduardo, I thought, so we're kind of at that 15-minute mark. So we haven't actually had anyone submit questions yet. So folks, if you'd like to, feel free to use that Q&A function. Also, just want to let you know that I reposted the link to donate in the chat. So if folks would like to donate to Esperanza, please feel free to use that link. Eduardo, I really appreciate the way that you're really talking about really connecting ourselves to what's happening in Tijuana. And I wondered if you could even speak a little bit about that, about what's going on in Tijuana at this point. You were starting to say about the vendors and all of that.
Yeah. Going back to the little bit with our family, we attend helping with houses. We have 7 communities we attend. For those 7 communities we attend, every community have like 25, 30 people waiting for the house, and some family they have already the house, waiting for the second chance to get a bigger house. But last year when the pandemic get to those families, well, some of those families they was working in factories, some of those families they work for the tourists, and everything shut it down. Those families they don't have job anymore. That means they don't have the way they can start paying a payment a little bit to the program, but they can receive a home. And some of those families they getting away from the program, or some of those families that was waiting to go in the program, they're not allowed to go right now because it's not income, it's no money. And I see more, uh, actually more students, more young people in the street sell a lot of things because right now they don't have a school. They're not allowed to go to school right now. All the school is the same by Zoom. Uh, but some of those kids, they was working and study, and they cannot do, they cannot work right now. And some of those kids, they don't have access to get a education by Zoom because in their houses they don't have internet, or it's a lot of things happening with all this pandemic. The other day I was passing by some community, and I see 2 kids beside beside to a big building, and I asked myself, what are these kids doing there? And they was getting the internet for the big building they can have his class and the phone. Both kids have a phone, and they was getting, we say, robbing the internet, but they was studying. They wasn't the school by phone. You can imagine those kids, they don't have access to internet. They cannot have education. And that's going to make our country and our city going back in education. If we're trying to prepare our kids for a better life, well, this pandemic is making going back. And some of those parents, they don't have the money right now to buy a phone or buy a computer or get the access to internet. That means the whole system is going to complicate. I don't know if this education for this year is going to affect so much to our country. Right now, I had, maybe some people know, I had two kids, and my two kids are in college, and they're in home by computer. Thanks God, and thanks to Esperanza, I still have a little bit of my job. They can have access to the school because one of my boys in the end of the career, and my daughter started the career in the college. But what's going to happen with those kids? They can go, or they can have the chance. And in the other hand, we have to, when this pandemic passed, and I hope and I pray every day pass quickly. We need to go back to those communities and start making like campaign for our houses, because I know it's a lot of family they is waiting for us to go offer something new. With this pandemic, it's gonna come more problems. What kind of problem we don't know, but it's gonna come more problems, especially with no income.
Eduardo, I wonder, most folks are familiar with Esperanza, but by the way, Chris Daly says hi. Chris is on here with us as well. She wanted to know if you would just kind of speak generally for folks who maybe are not familiar with the work of Esperanza, what Esperanza does.
Oh yeah, I love to talk about Esperanza because I love my job. Um, and I'm gonna put it this way, so simple. I don't find Esperanza. Esperanza find me, and that's real. Okay, I was a troublemaker, walking by my mom's house, sweeping my sidewalk, and one day the first director of Esperanza in Mexico, he lived in the same community my mom lived. He passed by, and he told me, "Eduardo, are you working?" I say, "No." I hear you speak English. I say, "Well, not that well, but I understand English." He said, "You want to work with us?" I say, "What kind of work?" He said, "Oh, it's hard to understand, but I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be working with gringos. They pay to come to work." Oh, say we pay them to come to work. Say, no, no, no. They pay to come to work. Oh, I say, "Can you explain a little bit more? Are there locals?" He say, "No, no, no. It's a beautiful organization. It's hard to understand, but you need to go." When I go, and probably John Klein and people, they know me for years, it was crazy in my first year for me to understand what is Esperanza, and to understand a lot of people from US come and trying to help us to our community to get a new house or a better house. It was crazy the way. Uh, but thank you to two beautiful daughters from Jan Klein. They teach me at the beginning about what it was the process, about getting families to make a strong communities and start working together to make his own blocks for the house. All those things, it was in my head like, what is this? I never see something like this. I always want to help my own community because I grew up in this city with a hard situation, watching a lot of problems in my community, fighting with the poverty, fighting with the system. I was one of those people. My family, we grew up in a very, very poor family. When it was raining, I remember it was raining more inside my house than outside because in our roof, we have many holes everywhere. And sometimes the rain gone and my house is still raining because we have water under, very bad foundation and everything for the house. For that moment, when I find Esperanza, or they find me, and I start understand Esperanza, I believe I find the right spot for me because God put me there to use my brain and my hands and my ability to do a lot of things for people. And I don't know if I do things for people or not. But the more I say gringos come to my side, and the more strong you make me. Because in my 22 years, I've been watching, I've been sharing with a lot of beautiful and incredible people from US. People they made me this man who I am right now. People they love me and people I love them. I hope so one day I can cross to US and go help in your side different way. And then to go in the communities, when I understand the program, and I started because I want you to understand me, it was difficult for me to understand what it was the program. We don't give the houses. We make the families understand they can save and they can work for get a house. Because it's different. If you just come and give, it's hard to the family they get it. And it's easy for us to make a strong community and teaching them how do they can work each other, how do they can help each other, and that's the way we can help the whole community, not only one house. We can make a lot of houses. We don't go and knock doors every day to find family. Actually, the way work Esperanza is when they see a bunch of people working together in one house digging, and then they see a bunch of gringos helping us digging our foundation, moving blocks, everything. The whole community around, they watch us and they come in and say, how do I can get one of the houses? How you can help me? How do I can help? And you start changing the mentality about just be waiting for gift. If you work, if you get in community, you can get things beautiful with more love. Not everything is so easy. It's a lot of problems to get a family understand what is the house. It's a lot of problems with our government because they put a lot of, a little step we had to pass. It's a lot of problems, economically speaking. We don't have a donator, like a specific, like a Bill Gates, they can give you a lot of billions of dollars, we can build a lot of houses. The only people that help it is you guys. The guys come and see our program. Plus, this is the beautiful thing about Esperanza. You can help another country send them money or make a check and let it go. But you never go see what do they do. The beauty of this program, and I love, you put some donation in our organization and you come and see, and we take you guys, work with us, work with the community, show the system, show the program, show the houses, share with the family, make that communication. It doesn't matter you don't speak Spanish or English. It's an easy way we can make a big bonds if we want it. That's our big message. People sometimes they say, I really want to go there or really want to help, but I don't understand the language. Sometimes you don't need the language. If you have a big heart and a big mentality to go help, it's easy to connect with our people. It's easy to come and help and be part of this program. It's beautiful. I don't know. I don't find the words to say how beautiful it is and how much I was learning for Esperanza in all these years. I'm this man because Esperanza. I'm this man because you guys. You made me this man. If it was not for Esperanza and many people I know from US, I don't know what I do in my life.
Eduardo, we're getting even more questions in. So I noticed, Kitty, you probably have noticed that we're getting some questions. So
yeah,
I'm going to try to answer these other questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So Eduardo, this is from Ron Sangling, your friend from way back. Ron is wondering, what is the local level of government doing to assist people who are in need during the pandemic?
That's a good question, Ronnie. Hi, man. In the beginning, when all this pandemic started, and everyone has to go to their own homes, part of the government they start sending some basic things, food for your house. They make little packets of food, and if you need some help, you put a red rag in your fence, and they know you need a help, and they provide with food, something basic. What else? Economically speaking, I don't hear like I hear U.S. the government they sending some extra money for you guys. In our side, it's not that way. Government they don't worry about giving some money to survive. Um, it's only the families and our families. The way we can say helping is to maintain in home. Now we are waiting for the vaccine. Um, you don't have to go to do any paperwork, government work for your house to the place. They can do it for your house. Little things like that is the only way I can see they're helping us.
Okay.
But the more help I can receive, no.
Yeah, definitely use the link, friends. I think I've posted it a couple times now in the chat. Aaron Cruiser, whose son Micah went with us, actually on the trip I went on a couple years ago. Aaron's wondering, has Esperanza shifted its focus or added additional services during the pandemic?
Otra vez? Say it again?
So are you doing the same types of services with families? Are you adding new ones during the pandemic, or has there been any changes?
Well, when the pandemic started last year, on this month, actually, we have a group from Ohio, last group last year, and we was working, and we have a list of families that still we have to finish the house last year. When all this happened, we shut it down a little bit. Everyone has to go home, and we cannot continue. That means our houses will stop. But 3 months later, when they open a little bit the door, we go back and we have to finish those houses because we have to receive some subsidy from the government for those families. If we don't finish those houses and they don't receive the subsidy. And I mean, that's why we have to go back, and we, with all the precaution, we use our masks, gloves, wash our hands, everything they say we do. Plus, we invited the families to go help us. Only the family, no groups. Group of 8, 7, actually our Esperanza staff, my director, the people in the office, everyone go help to finish those houses. Mm-hmm. And this year we still was working those houses they're still waiting for from last year, but we finished this year. Mm-hmm. How are we gonna go back or what we're gonna do after the pandemic? We don't know yet. We don't know yet what we're gonna offer and what we're gonna do or what we can do more for those families. I don't know if Amanda, they wanna complete more about.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in. Thank you. I mean, I can say it's been really difficult this last year, and we want to say thank you to everyone on the line here. Your support and caring about our organization has really kept us going. We are 100% committed to reopening. We're just looking at the health and safety of people on both sides of the border. It's a lot with traveling. We're looking at the rates of COVID-19 on both sides of the border and the availability of vaccinations, and looking at how we can do this in the safest possible way. So I can't give you a date. We want it to be as soon as possible, but we're looking into possibly starting with a very small adult group at some point later this year, and seeing and monitoring and adjusting some of our safety protocols and all of that. So we're committed to keeping everyone informed on when we are able to do that. So there'll be more information coming from us.
Yes. Along those same lines is another question. This is from Annette. She wonders, what can we do specifically to help families right now? what does Esperanza need, including additional internet at the Posada? Is there anything beyond donating to the link we posted that would be helpful?
Amanda or Ernesto?
I mean, donations are great. I think that I can tell from in my interactions with staff in Mexico, even the way they're reaching out to community members and the community groups to just check in and see how people are doing. I don't think that we're equipped to try to work on like internet access throughout Tijuana. We are good to go in the Posada and really looking through our our core services and houses and community support in that way.
Yeah, I think so that the donation I don't like to talk about money or donation, but in one way, is the only way we can survive. Esperanza staff in Mexico, if we don't receive donation, well, our staff member or the team and my team, my side, probably we have to leave because what we're gonna do is not money income, and then it's gonna be difficult for people that are there in this side working to trying to get those families they need. It's complicated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I wonder, Eduardo, so these are great questions, folks, and we can answer more specific questions to Esperanza's current needs as we go. But just a question from Dawn, and then Eduardo, I wondered if you wanted to start talking again about your own spiritual journey and how working at Esperanza has helped you in your spiritual journey.
En español?
Just like how you have grown in your understanding of your faith. Has Esperanza affected your faith? Yeah, how like working with the people and seeing the people and all of that, has that helped your faith to grow? I'm thinking specifically of like the orphanage that you were trying to build a relationship with when we were there last time.
Yeah, like I tell in the beginning, it's been tough. It was tough in my first year, but and then past year, it was growing my faith and growing my understanding about the life. I tell you, I came from a difficult life situation, and that's made me grow so big, because in the situation I grow, it was tough to understand how we can grow in the middle of the community. It was poor. First, when in your side you don't have the opportunity for many things, people don't carry you. People, they don't believe you, especially if you are in a gang. I was in a gang. Obviously, everyone was afraid about member gang guy. I was fighting in the street every day with many people around for stupid things. But that made my world open. That's made my mentality open. Because when I lost my dad very young, I was 16, my father was 45 years old when he passed away. It was very difficult to survive for my own community, and I had to help my mom. I stopped going to the school because no money to go to the school, and that's made me thinking better, and that's made me fight more for the life, and say the only thing I have sure is God is with me, and I'm gonna follow God wherever He put me to go. And that's when Esperanza find me years later. And every day when I go do those houses and be digging, moving blocks, doing concrete, it's difficult. And we do it every day. From when it's raining, when it's in the middle of the 100 degrees, the sun in bikini, we do it every day. And it's so beautiful. It's a matter of my hands and my back sometimes it's kill me in the afternoon, but my heart is happy because I go outside and do something for someone. I don't know, I don't understand if I do a lot or yes more, but I do something. and I see the result. And I go next month and I see those families with more hope and with more faith. If we have faith, we can move mountain if we want. Sometimes in difficult times, I was thinking and very sad about situation. And I always say, and sorry, Father Gary, but I'm not like Catholic. I go to the church every day, I hit my heart and pray. I'll be honest, but I follow the rules about asking someone about help me with this or give me my mind to help more people in different way. And next day I come when I go to the family or I go to Esperanza and I go with a different mentality and everything is easy for me. People that don't understand me when I say, oh, that's easy. We can do that. We can do that. And we can move this. We can finish that. It's easy. And the more time I spend with Esperanza, the more strong I am. And then see those students come from US. I met in the first day and they came with different mentality. And I see them in the end of the week working with us with different mentality and different comments. And I see people crying when I'm talking. And I say, why they cry when I talk? I ask myself, sometimes it scares me because I say, maybe I offend these people. But it's in the other way. They feel very nice with my words. And that helped me to understand I'm in the right way, or I'm in the right path. All you guys probably read Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is one guy, and then pretty soon everyone was following him. I want to create Esperanza that way. I want one day everyone follow Esperanza because we're not doing only houses. We do more of that. But if you people never been in Mexico, Tijuana, you have to come and see what I'm talking about. I'm not lying to anything. If you ask me about the drugs, if you ask me about cartel, if you ask me about everything, I try to be the more honest because I live my whole life in this country, in this city, the city I love. And I live too in the United States a little while, but not many years. I just came back to my own town. And I'm not against about the people from my country leave and go to US. No, for some reason they go. If they made it, good. But I never forget our people in this side, please, because people are still waiting for you. People still waiting to just come and give you a little push, because the life here is difficult. I don't know if that respond to your question, Katie.
Beautifully, beautifully. Thank you, Eduardo. We have another question here from Stephanie Pratt, who says, Eduardo, can you tell us more about the time you were here in the US and the challenges you faced?
The good things or the bad things? Well, just to make sure everyone understands me, I never go to US illegally. I always cross with a visa, tourist visa. I cross legal all the time. I never been illegal. And that's changed the situation a little bit because for me, it was like a Tijuana. I grew up with my family crossing to US very often. My mom go shop in the other side because in those times, it was not difficult to cross. We go like to the store. Oh, let's go to the other side to shop because everything was cheaper in the other side. And in Tijuana, my father get paid dollars. That means we had dollars and they can spend in US. And was back and forth many times. I mean, I grew up with that culture. But then when my father passed away again, one day I had to stop the school and I had to jump to the other side to trying to start getting income to my house because we needed to start working. And I do everything for work. I was living in LA, East LA, Los Angeles, the famous Angeles. I know all LA because I tell you, I'm a troublemaker and I go everywhere I want. And I was not afraid to have anything in the US. Plus, always I understand a little bit English, and that helped me a lot when I go to the stores or wherever I was walking, I can talking with people. And one day when I remember this, I was in the store making a line to pay. And the line was a little bit longer, maybe more than 6, 7 people in the line to pay. Behind me was two women, old woman, we can say maybe 60, with all respect for everyone, uh, 60 years old, and they was talking each other, and they were saying like, oh, we are taking very long time this line because all those people, they're not from this country, making bigger line. All these people, they're another color. Obviously, those people, they was white, and the only people in the line was another color. It was me, and I say, "Whoa, this conversation is for me." And those people, they was talking very bad about another people from Mexico, maybe Central America. And then I just turn around my head and I say, "Excuse me," and they understand. I understand English. I say, "Oh," they say, "No, no, no, nothing." But they was talking very bad about others, and that's opened my eye and opened my ear about we was not welcome in that country in one side. And then when I started working, the owner of the company, they don't talk with the Mexicanos. The factory was a lot of Mexicanos inside, and some of those Mexicanos, they don't speak English. Oh my God, they was treated very terrible, and they was paying under the minimum salary, like $4 for hour, something like that. It was very terrible, the situation, and they have to be quiet and don't say anything because the other way they send them to the immigration. I go in LA, maybe not everyone know, but in LA, you in the boulevard, the principal boulevard, you can walk and be gringo in 5 minutes. When I say be gringo, yes, buy your green card. I go there, I give you they charge me $20, I think, and I just give you my picture, little picture, and the guy tell me in 20 minutes, come and pick it up the same way, the same spot. Okay, I give him my $20, my picture, and then the guy, I came 20 minutes later, I have my green card. Ooh, I was legal for work with a fake number and a fake name. It was another name, not Eduardo. With that green card, I was working in a company, and I can receive my payroll check, and I can go change in the bank with a fake green card, only for work. You cannot come to Tijuana with that, but only for work. But on another hand, too, I want to make clear this. I find a lot of beautiful, beautiful people too. A lot of white people, a lot of people from US, they treat me like an angel. Very beautiful people. They give me all the opportunities because they know I speak a little bit English. Uh, Actually, one of the owners in San Diego, he want to ask me uh, through the government to fix my paper. They want to pay for all my process in that year. Um, but something happened is when I came back to Tijuana and then I cannot cross again, and the whole process stopped. But I find a very beautiful people too, not only discrimination people. That's why I love to go to US. I hope so one day this new president let me cross and I can go. This is my 20, maybe 25 years I cannot cross to US. I hope so still Disneyland is there.
Hopefully Disney, I know we're all looking forward to that, right? Donna Matz actually has a question about that, Eduardo. She's wondering about the mood in Tijuana and let's see here, so what has changed in the hearts of those waiting for a chance to come to the US with the new administration? And were there people who moved into communities and decided to stay and build a house in Esperanza? or there are folks more hopeful that they might be able to come? Like what is the feeling like in the area?
Make the question different way, Katie. I don't understand. It's two questions in one.
It is. So with the change of the administration, is there a sense of hopefulness among the people that they might be able to come into the United States even just to visit?
Yes. The answer is yes. Everyone right now with the new president from the United States, they have a lot of hope. They can help us with more faster the process to get a legalized, can be a tourist visa or can be a green card. Those they can apply, or those kids they are living in US and they're illegal, but they go when they was little kids and they don't know the situation, like the program DACA. They're gonna be benefits, and that's okay. But in another hand too, I want to say clear. Believe me, not everyone from Mexico they want to go and live in the United States. Not everyone in Mexico they're waiting for get a green card and go leave our country and go to the United States. It's not right. It's not correct. Actually, not many people they looking for a chance to get a visa because people they make business between, especially Tijuana. It's a city we can make a business. You have green card or visa, you can cross legal. You go shop in the US and come back and do your own business. It's a business thing. It's a lot of people waiting for more quickly they can give you the visa because right now everything is stopped. No one receive any help. But not only Mexicanos, okay? It's a lot of Centro Americanos plus a lot of from Haiti. They're in Tijuana. They're living right here from Haiti. They're in Tijuana, and they're in line. Actually, they're camping right now close to the border to get a chance to get the green card.
At places like Casa del Migrante.
Casa del Migrante is full up right now. No, they're living in many places, but they're camping right now, just right there in the border.
Eduardo, I wonder if you might speak to one of the things that was so moving to me about Esperanza when I had the opportunity to go is that it really is, it is about folks coming and, you know, helping with paying fees and all of that to help financially make things go. But really the point of it when I went, it felt like it was about changing my heart and not so much what I was doing for someone else. It was that through the immersion experience, I was changed. And I wonder if you could, and maybe Amanda too, could speak about kind of the mission around Esperanza in terms of community partnering together rather than folks showing up to build houses, which is how the model of some other programs work. I deeply appreciated that about Esperanza. I wondered if you might speak to that.
You go first, Manda.
Hey, yes, I would love to. Absolutely, Katie. I mean, that's why I got involved with this organization. I met Eduardo, I met our social workers and saw that the way that they worked with the community and the entire approach around our values with solidarity, with building community was what drew me to the organization and has kept me involved. So it's always, every time I'm down there and I get to work and have lunch with members of the community, I learn so much. It feeds my soul, and that's really the mission of building global citizenship and building those relationships. You want to add, Eduardo?
Yes, that was another thing I get in love with Esperanza when I see, like I told before, it's not only a gift. You know, we made the family understand we can work together, we can make a change. And the more that people understand that work together, is the more beauty is going to be this program. And I tell you, in Tijuana, we receive a lot of help from many groups from another organization. Different things, they cross the border and come and do. In orphanage, building houses, wood houses for free. They're different religions. They come, a bunch of gringos in 20 cars, follow for all over, stop in some community they know, and they just come and give you free houses. That's a good help, and we appreciate that about that. but they don't teach anything to those families. The gringos, they make 1 point with God, and they leave tomorrow. They go back to your own town, your own house, to US. And what about the Mexicano? They staying with the new house, wood house. But what do we teach? Nothing. They're going to be in the same spot, same poverty, and with all those problems we have around. With Esperanza, that's why I love Esperanza. We get everything in circle and trying to push the family. When they receive a house, they can receive another things in the future. Your mentality is going to change, and then they're going to try to all the kids go to the school and finish a career, because now they don't have to be worried about the house. They have a new house, a new way to live. Make sense? And that's the beauty of this program.
I think too, and Amanda, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this as well. As things have unfolded in the United States since George Floyd died, since George Floyd was murdered in June, a lot of us, I think, have been really rethinking how we think about racism and maybe the things we thought before. I know I personally have been really growing in that. And this whole concept of white saviorism and the toxicity that can happen sometimes with different organizations when folks do just show up and build a house rather than working side by side. This is why I love Esperanza so much, is because, you know, Eduardo is leading the volunteer group and we're working side by side with folks. So I don't know, Amanda, if you have any thoughts about that, or Eduardo. Esperanza is qualitatively different, especially on that topic. And I think it's built into how the organization is structured, you know, from the ground up.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you bring that up. Something that I've definitely been reflecting on personally a lot over this past year and before that. And I would say it's really just the entire approach. And I think the way from our board and how we work with, like, I'm never going to go down and tell Eduardo what to do. Well, maybe on something, but it's going to be a joke. Really, it's more about how the community wants to work and how communities are empowering themselves to make changes. So it's never about particularly white people coming down and saying this is what you need. That's the opposite of what we are trying to do.
You make that point very simple, Amanda, and that's true. That's one of the mistakes I see in another groups. Like an example, one day there was walking in one of my community I live. It was walking a bunch of gringos giving some flyers, and I stay outside my house sweeping my sidewalk because I love to sweep. Okay, and I was sweeping my house, and they stopped by, and I asked "What are you doing?" But I asked in Espanol. And there was two white girls. They don't speak almost nothing in Spanish. With difficult, they respond me, "Oh, we are doing houses, blah, 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 blah." And then I start going deeper. And I say, "And you know the families you are working with them?" They say, "No." And I say, how you know they need the house? And they tell me, "Oh, because we can see around, all these families need a house." And I say, "Why you think that they need a house? How do you discover? You make a social study around the community, or who tell you all these families need a house? How do you know if they need a house? Maybe they need another thing." And then they start thinking, and they was telling me the flyer, they was inviting you to go to the church. They was not Catholic, it was another religion. That means behind the house, they was pushing or invited them to go to a different religion. And that's not fair. That's one of the things I love Esperanza, because we are open to all domination. We don't practice any specific religion. We respect all of it. I grew up Catholic. I tell everyone I have my cross right here, but I put it inside for respect all the groups I receive, and respect all the families they're not Catholic. Because what? if that family I see they need, if they're not Catholic, I'm not gonna go help build something or trying to go in the program. It's not that way. I'm learning all the time in 22 years. When I go to the community, every day I learning something new from those beautiful families. If you one day I come back to Esperanza, to my house, and I see or I know I don't learn something, maybe that's gonna be my end. I'll be in Esperanza.
Eduardo, I'm going to have to say goodbye. I got another commitment to get to, but thank you so much for everything that you've shared. And I really appreciate that you know that you're doing this because of your love for Jesus, but you don't have to push that on anyone. One thing that our Archbishop Achen says is evangelization is important. It's our mission, but it does not mean we make everyone Catholic. We show God's love. That's what we do.
Gracias, Father Gary.
Sí.
Gracias. And I
Muchas
hope I
gracias. Y en este momento con el Padre Carlos tenemos un compromiso. Cada domingo tenemos decimos pan dulce y chocolate con la gente. Es un intercambio virtual y se empieza a las 2:15. Entonces, espero que nos vemos muy pronto en Tijuana.
Espero que sí. Espero que sí, Padre. Gracias.
Okay, muchas gracias. So, goodbye, everyone. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, Father Gary.
And thank you very much, Amanda. Nice to meet you. Maybe I'll see you in Tijuana.
Likewise, I would love that. Thank
Yes,
you.
okay. God bless. Bye.
Thank you. Eduardo, we're just getting another really good question. This is from Greg Leptic.
Greg Leptic.
Yeah. He says, hola, Eduardo. Would you share with us the working pieces behind the scenes that makes Tijuana unique, kind of what we were just talking about? The role of the social workers, the grants that are constantly being applied for, the Canavi grants, and how important they are to families being able to afford dignified housing, structure of FABs, etc. So we can take that piece by piece if you'd like. So what makes Esperanza unique, in your opinion?
The people work in Esperanza. Actually, it's one thing I can tell you. It's true. To make Esperanza beauty, and I say is the best in the country, because I was in past years, I go to a workshop. They invited another organization talking about working outside with the communities. All the organization, they was doing different things. When we present our program, when we put the videos about volunteer helping each other, family working together, everyone was in shock. Everyone didn't believe we do houses with the people and with the volunteers together. People in the South, they don't believe was a lot of gringos helping each other making a house. That's why I say we are the best of the country, because I was talking with all those organizations, and nothing compared. And I love those organizations because they're my brothers too, but nothing compared what we do. Esperanza and those founders, they started with the idea about making houses with the people, through the people, and with volunteers. That was the more perfect idea they have. Plus, we don't push the family to get in the program. Some family they need, but they're not ready. Obviously the work the social workers do is incredible, because they have to go to their communities and find those families they need. They have the time. They have to be. They understand they have to be working in the correct families. It's very complicated to those families be there and show up the social worker and say, we're going to build a house, but you have to start saving money. Oh, those families are scared, because how are I going to give you my money to some people I don't know? Make sense? When we made the reunions, And we made everyone understand they're gonna save their money, his own money with the same community. That give you a lot of credibility because we're not taking their money. Obviously, with the years, we have to find help. And with the subsidy we receive now for the government, it's a big help. That's the way we can building a little bit more bigger houses for those families they need, because it's very important that little money the government give it. But adult money is specific for the house. That money is not help for the whole process, for Esperanza staff, for the salary, for the vehicle, for the tools, for the gasoline, for the bill, for the building. Nothing about that. That's why we the only ones, because we not close the door to any family, to any religion. It doesn't matter if they're Centro Americano, Haitiano. We open the door for everyone.
And kind of a related question, this is from Kathy Jacobs. She's asking, Eduardo, can you share more about how the family the house is being built for hosts the builders? So what does that mean? Her daughter has gone twice with Seattle University, and she mentions how much she appreciated this aspect of it. So could you share some more about how those of us who go down to volunteer, how we are hosted by the builders? What does that entail?
Explícame la pregunta de otra manera, Amanda.
Unmute myself. Talk about that. In the element of working with the community, with families that we're building a community and working together. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? So when I go down, it's you and the workers as well as the family and how we interact.
Yeah, I think so. That's one of the more important part, that interact with the families. I'm never gonna take any group from the Posada to our community first if you don't understand a little bit what is this. That's why we make a circle in the beginning. We present each other, and with all respect, I want to know, I'm crazy and do a lot of jokes, but in my jokes and my crazy thing is because I want you to feel, guys, like in my home, welcome. Feel free to ask, to see. I want to make sure you're gonna go outside, not shaking your body because you hear in Tijuana is kill people, drugs, whatever you hear. I want you go to the communities and feel the warmth from the families, the warmth from the communities, and feel very safe with Esperanza. The other way is complicated for me to take into the communities. That's the first interact with me and with Esperanza staff. I wish all the workers in Esperanza, the one you work straight, like Roberto, Lorenzo, and other people, I wish they can go with me in the circle. I invited everyone. I tell all the Esperanza, I want all Esperanza staff to come and present themselves, because it's not, I say it's not only me. I say I have the best job because my job, I love it. I love to interact with the people. And I'm the first face, we can say. But I wish all Esperanza staff to have time to go and say, welcome, we are these people, and I do this. But I know it's time. Some of the group, they want to go to school, work. That's my first interact. And then when we go to the communities, it's very important for me, the family present themselves through the groups, and the group to the family. That's the first breaking walls, because some people too, they see a bunch of gringos, they don't speak our language. Obviously, some of the family, they're afraid too, they're nervous. I see family, I prepare those families, and I see they crying before they talk. I see people, they cannot talk because they're so nervous. How do people, they don't know me, they come and build my house for me or with me or shoulder by shoulder, but we building something. It's complicated, and that's my job, to make that happen. to make the family and the group interact. When we left that family out of that house, maybe not going to be the best friend of the world, but I want you to go with different mentality about we are brothers and sisters. It's a matter of language and it's a matter of our colors.
From the wonderful Jan Klein, who's a mentor to myself and many others, she says, not a question, Eduardo, a deep thank you for your presence to the group when we are there. Kids learn so much from the respectful way that you treat every person. They in turn treat others the way you model acceptance. God bless Jan Klein.
Thank you, Jan Clan. And she know me very well. Uh, and I tell many people, I never prepare. I'm like, oh, Sunday, tomorrow I'm gonna receive a group, this group, and I'm gonna tell this. Seriously, I never make any read before.
Mhm.
I just go normally in the morning, like any day, because for me the days they're beautiful. We have to give it thanks God to survive one more day. And then when I go through the fence to Esperanza, I know it's my passion. And then when I see a bunch of gringos waiting for me in the reunion, wow, it's my opportunity. Sometimes I get in shock when I get there. Some group they get up from the chairs and start applaud to me. And for me, like, wow, who is coming? And it's for me. And you made me so beautiful. And from there, I can say a lot of things and I can express so well with no problem because I don't have any problem to say my life, to talk about Tijuana, about Esperanza, about this, about that. I love this.
Mhm. Well, as we're just waiting for more questions to come in, I don't know, Amanda or Eduardo, if you have anything else you want to say about what's going on in the current conditions on the ground in Tijuana.
Is there anything you want to add, Eduardo?
Yeah, right now in Tijuana is like I tell you, not everything is closed, but it's still not normal. Um, some of the people, the older people, they're the first one, well, they're the second one, they're vaccination, vaccine. First was the doctors and all the first line. They come for the second line. I don't know when it's going to be our turn or to everyone, but I hope soon. Our color in Tijuana, because we have colors. Red one was vaccinated in home, orange, yellow, and green. Right now we are in orange, and little things start open again with a lot of rules. But a little by little, I see more movements. At the same time, it's people they don't understand. People they don't get it, and that's the people we are angry because if the government say you have to use masks when you go to the store or do this or do that, you have to follow those rules. That's why we're still in orange. That's the way we can change our color. We can be in green. Everyone wants to be in green right now because the economy, the situation about the city is not that bueno.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean Esperanza is going to close. Well, I hope not.
Well, that
With
was one of
Yeah.
that's one of the questions in that series of questions too, is has Esperanza been able, a lot of places have had to reduce staff. Have you guys been able to maintain staff or reduce staff?
now I know. Still, everyone in our staff is working. Uh, Probably a couple of people, the new folks, uh, one day of the week they're not coming. They're taking one day off. Uh, but the rest of the people we still going every day.
And I will just say, in terms of reopening, we so value Eduardo and all of the staff for our ability to complete our mission. So 100% want to keep them employed as a major goal. And then I think just back to, we were talking about the border, and we've been monitoring the rates, like the orange zones and that on both sides of the border, as well as the border just being open and the ability, the ability to cross over and thinking about reopening. But our, health and safety and number one, and maintaining our staff and their ability to connect with communities during a difficult time has been just hugely important.
Mhm.
It's very sad to go on Esperanza and that beautiful place and see everything is empty and see. I don't hear those scream from the gringo sides. I don't see volunteers running from all over. I don't hear any stranger voice in another language, and that's very sad. Some of those days I be in this past week walking through Esperanza. It was sad, very sad because it's empty, and obviously, yeah, some of the Esperanza stuff we are afraid, a little bit afraid, because maybe we have to take off some of the workers, and it's complicated getting another job right now in Tijuana, especially if some of the people we are older. Well, in my country, my age, they start getting problems to get a job, and then with the family, what we're gonna do. Everything come in mind what you're gonna do, but at the same time, you see those families we attend, they are in the same situation, and some of those families, uh, they lost the job, the husband, the wife, no jobs, and they're very hard situation. And it's time to get more in community, to get more together, because it's the only reason we can go out of this, be together and be strong. Um, if we have to do it, we have to do it. Is We are having a lot of meetings with our director, trying to find the best way to keep going. We're trying to find the best way to offer a new houses, or different size, or what we're gonna do if we wouldn't have family because the pandemic. We talk about everything around, but we know it's a lot of family. They're gonna need more than before, and we have to be ready for that.
That's definitely being echoed in the chat. This is from Jen Mullis. She says, absolutely. She's a 21-year veteran. Can't wait to get back to it. It's been heartbreaking, but know that you are in our hearts and we are praying for a quick, healthy return. And just again, if folks would like to donate to Esperanza, the link is in the chat to help keep folks in their roles going forward. So definitely please be generous. The Eastside Deanery parishes are making a $500 donation because Eduardo and Amanda gave up their time today. So hoping other folks will follow our lead on that as well.
Mi amiga Jen Mullis, I call her Cinco de Mayo. She's my Cinco de Mayo because she's a very gringa, and she's the only word she know in Espanol. Cinco de Mayo.
Eduardo, you're too funny. If there are other questions that folks have, feel free to submit those. I don't know, Eduardo, if you had other point. Oh, she's saying love that guy. Eduardo, I don't know if you have other things you wanted to share with us. We're excited to hear from you. Anything you have to give us.
Yes, I just remember everyone. The beautiful of this organization is because you guys. You made this beautiful organization for years. If you want to continue this organization, well, first donation there, uh, and two, remember we're going to be waiting for you with all our love. And what we do here is something very beautiful, and we cannot do it for our own. If you start coming to our side, believe me, you're going to break a lot of hearts in our communities, and those families they need. It's going to be impossible for them to get a new home like a home we make. This morning I was in the bathroom because I read only in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom, and my phone, I see a WhatsApp. One of the family we built a house 2 months ago. She finished the house, and she put a video at their house from the beginning to the end. Oh my God, almost made me cry because it was beautiful. She put all, when they started, when the beginning, it was empty the land, everything. And the words, she put like put a lot of thanks for the group US, a lot of thanks from the Esperanza. She mentioned a lot of beautiful thing about this organization. A lot of thanks to the Esperanza staff, all those moments, all those words. And that's I want to pass to all you guys. Those moments, those conversations with the family, that house is gonna stay forever, forever. Some of those houses I passed by sometime came to my mind a lot of histories there. Actually, a lot of hands from you guys there in the concrete there. Some group I make and put a when it happened, September 1999. Wow, and it's still there because our family is still appreciate about that. Or some groups they let a little pat, a flower for for the family. They still have it in that corner. Or a little frame with a picture. They put the frame of you guys in the big room, like at their family, and that's beautiful.
Mhm.
And that's beautiful. I wish this program be around the world because I know in Central America, in Haiti, and some of those countries I hear they have a difficult problem. I know they be loving this program with all the help. But I tell you, this program is beautiful because the people they come, donate, work, be with us, and be like a family.
It would be very cool if it were international. There's places in the US too that are hurting. Um, Places all over the world for sure. Jan Klein, the master fundraiser, Jan Klein says, I invite all SJV listeners to donate in memory of Kathleen McGinnis. She suggests $100. So God bless you, Jan Klein. And from our own Chris Daly from St. Louis, she says, we cannot wait to come back home to Tijuana, home to Tijuana. Thanks, Eduardo and Amanda. See you soon.
Oh, so lovely. You understand, guys, what I say? That's a beautiful people is behind me. It's my family. How do I can survive without you guys? I don't know. I'm dying. I'm dying here with no gringos on my side, you know?
But I think the point, Eduardo, is, and this was what I learned, I've only been once, but this was what I learned when I went, was that it's not so much about what we're doing when we're there, it's about us being changed by the experience. That's the point. That it's great that we can build houses and that we can, whatever, send whatever money, but that the point is conversion in our own hearts. We celebrated the rite of continuing conversion with our RCIA folks this morning, and this is a point of conversion. Where am I being challenged on racism in my own heart? Where am I being challenged to think of the world differently? Where am I being challenged to see the human community as truly global? And I think Esperanza does that so beautifully. So
Yep.
thank you so much for all you guys do.
And I want to get this minute too to say thank you to all the parents. They let the high school kids, the college, go to our town. Always I tell the students, you have to appreciate about your parents to let you come to Tijuana, to Mexico, to this beautiful organization. Now, whatever, if you learn something in this week, now take them back and share with your parents what do you learn, what do you see, because you have a lovely parents. They donate to you go and see another part of the world. The world we are different in some way, but the world we are the same in some way. To find that middle point is difficult for a lot of people to understand. I just want to say thank you to all the parents to trust in us in Esperanza. Because if it was my kids and some adult tell me, can you let your kid go to the city? I hear every day is killing people, every day using drugs. I'm not gonna let my kid go in there. And the other side, you guys make this family trust in you first and then trust in Esperanza and making travel all the way to Tijuana and be with the crazy Eduardo down there saying a lot of crazy things, but the same way, learning, learning. And I never gonna stop doing that. If my life it was tough and my life made me change because Esperanza and all the people I have around, people can change. people can see the life different. I'm not asking for, oh, you have to change your whole life. No, I am asking to open your mind and you open your heart a little bit more to understand situation.
And Eduardo, that's why we wanted you to give this talk, because we knew it was going to be great. Amanda, I don't know if you have anything else you would like to add.
Yeah, I mean, Eduardo, that was powerful on the people can change, and that's a lot of hope there. And I think my last thing I want to say is just gratitude to all of our volunteers and all of you for taking this time on a Sunday to hang out with us on a webinar. We appreciate you. You kind of give our organization its name. You give us hope. Thank you.
And Eduardo, do you you can have the last word if you'd like.
Well, thank you again to everyone, people behind making possible this beautiful, and thank you. Big hugs and kisses to everyone. And believe me, we are doing whatever we have to do to maintain this organization, because I want to you guys come and see what are we doing and keep helping those they need, and keeping changing a little bit about the world. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. Keep safe. If we want to give you hugs, you have to keep safe and we follow all those rules we have to follow. And then when this pandemic go away, we can hug and kiss each other for the rest of the life. Because if I learned something from this pandemic is we have to love each other more and more. And we have to have the time to talk each other more. How many people they had the opportunity to talk with the parents, love the parents, have a nice story, and they didn't do it because everyone want to go away to his own life. This pandemic make you stay in home and give you an opportunity to love more and to find out it's a life down there. It's a life outside your house. It's a world. It's asking you to do something different. And it's God tell you this is something you have to change. It's a big opportunity. I understand what is this. And the pandemic make me my eyes open more and more. Thank you again. And I hope so I can see you down there pretty soon in my country, in my city, and of course, in this beautiful Esperanza.
Brother, you're getting so much love right now. Esperanza is as well. Ron Sangalang, Jen Mullis, Eileen Hammer, Susan Weaver, who's my counterpart at St. John Vianney, Kathy Jacobs. There's a lot of love for you in this group. A lot of love for Esperanza. Friends, we're going to go ahead and close in prayer. Father Gary had to head off to our Spanish language version of Coffee and Donuts to be present to our parishioners during this pandemic. So I'm going to close us in prayer. Again, just a huge thank you to Eduardo and Amanda, to Esperanza, for all you do for all of our parishes, for all you do for the communities that you serve in. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen.
Lord Jesus Christ, who reached across the ethnic boundaries between Samaritan, Roman, and Jew, who offered fresh sight to the blind and freedom to captives, help us to break down the barriers in our communities. Enable us to see the reality of racism and bigotry, and free us to challenge and uproot it from ourselves, our own hearts, our society, and our world. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Gracias a todos.
God bless you. Okay, friends, have a great day. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with us. Thank you.